Live from the Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center. Welcome to Yakima Rotary, a century of service. And now your hosts, Charlie Robin and Bridget Terrell.
Welcome everyone to Yakima Rotary, a century of service. Live from the Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center, I'm Charlie Robin.
And I'm Bridget Terrell. Charlie and I both have the privilege of serving as Yakima Rotarians, and we know how much Rotary has done for our community.
Like this beautiful facility, with multiple pools, a therapy pool, and a lazy river for kids, built with the help of $3 million in donations from Rotary.
It's just one of hundreds of projects Rotarians have contributed to Yakima, and we're here tonight to share the stories of those programs and help Rotary raise some much-needed donations so they can continue to bring great things like this aquatic center to Yakima.
Here's Rotary President Jennifer Bleasner with what Rotary is all about.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Bleasner, and I have the honor of being the 102nd president of the Yakima Rotary Club, also known as Yakima Downtown Rotary. Rotary is a global community of more than 1.2 million men and women dedicated to building a better world. Yakima Rotary is one of more than 35,000 Rotary clubs worldwide. Whereas most Rotary clubs consist of around 30 members, the Yakima Rotary Club has over 300 members, making it the 31st largest club in the world. When you consider other clubs of similar sizes are located in large cities like Chicago, Seattle, LA, and Houston, it's remarkable to have a club this large in a community the size of Yakima. When joined by Southwest Rotary and Sunrise Rotary, there are over 500 Rotarians serving our community. Rotary clubs are comprised of business and community leaders who believe in the motto of service above self. Rotary started as a place for professionals to exchange ideas. Many new members join us for the opportunity to network. Rotary is so much more than that. Rotarians are people of action who are not afraid to dream big and to set bold goals to change lives and their communities, making them a better place to live. You'll find Yakima Rotary members actively engaged in the local community and the world. Our members have been responsible for some of our most treasured community assets: parks and playgrounds, ball fields, the new YMCA and Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center, and so much more. Beyond Yakima, you'll learn our members have been hard at work with international projects in areas like Ethiopia, Honduras, and Sierra Leone. Tonight, you're going to hear about Yakima Rotary's past, present, and future, and what Rotary means not only to the Valley, but to the world. Thank you for tuning in and for your support. We encourage you to join us in our fundraising efforts and to inquire about Rotary membership if you're interested. With your investment of time, talent, and treasure, there is no limit to the things we can all accomplish together.
Here's how you can donate. Call 888-778-0281. We have a great group of volunteers at the Banner Bank phone bank ready to take your donation. They can take credit cards or checks. It's your choice. Or go to yakimarotary.org to donate online simply by clicking a button. And you may have noticed names moving across the bottom of the screen. These are people and businesses who have already donated, and we'll be updating this list throughout the evening. Now Bridget has something for us.
Joining us now is Betty Jo Murray, Senior Vice President of Commercial Lending at Banner Bank, our phone bank sponsor. Jo is also a longtime Rotarian. First, Betty Jo, a big thank you to Banner Bank for sponsoring us tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about your favorite Rotary program?
My favorite Rotary program is the scholarship program, Bridget. We give away academic scholarships and technical scholarship, Peritech, that type of scholarships every year, and the kids are amazing. The kids apply, we read their applications, we interview them. These kids come to meet 8 adults they've never met before and do an interview, and they are working, they are school activities, some of them are their first time ever in their family to go to college, and I'm just always impressed by these kids. Straight A's, all that stuff.
Yeah, I was on the vocational scholarship committee myself for several years, and I am always so impressed with those kids and their dedication.
Yes.
Now, tell me a little bit about how Rotary has changed lives in the community over the years.
Well, as Charlie already mentioned, the Aquatic Center here, this is one of our big projects for our 100 years of service, and it's a fantastic, you can see the kids swimming in the pool pool.
Look at that lazy river.
I know, they're just having a great time. It's just a wonderful facility. It serves the north side of Yakima. It's the only service like this they have in this area of Yakima, and Rotary has done fantastic things throughout our community.
Thank you so much, Betty Jo, and thank you, Banner Bank, for sponsoring our phone bank.
We're happy to do it. Thank you.
Well, it sounds like it's time to start the fun. The phone lines are open and volunteers are waiting for your call. Now, let's find out how Rotary has been helping people in Yakima for more than a century.
Each day when I come to work at the Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center, I'm reminded of the great work that Rotary does in our community and has done for 100 years. In all, Rotarians donated over $3 million to this project.
Their first community project was to raise money to put street signs on all the major streets so that the delivery men for all the businesses could find the homes. They became very big champions of the Boy Scouts. They founded one of the first bands, actually community bands, children's band, before the school district had a music program. And there was the Rotary Boys Band, which appeared to parades and things of that nature. And they were involved in all kinds of different activities. They did, you know, kind of like variety shows to raise money and all kinds of things. But one of their biggest things from the first years was to deal with the problem for children with special needs, as we would call them today. At that time, it was the Handicapped Children Fund. And they raised money year after year after year, well into the 60s, to send children particularly from families who couldn't afford it, to Seattle mostly, for orthopedic work, for things where they had any kind of special needs where the families didn't have any help. So there's been project after project in playgrounds, helping youth, and this is beyond just the smaller grants that the club does. So it's been a real important force in the community for a very, very long time.
My senior year, I was fortunate to be one of 15 students to receive the Yakima Rotary Scholarship. This scholarship helped me, like so many other students, with paving the way for college. Rotary is really structured all about service above self, and I think that as you graduate up through the different programs, whether it's Interact at high school, Rotaract at college, and then eventually Rotary in your professional career, it really teaches you the importance of community service and the importance of giving back.
When we're finished, there will be 200 desks completed. First thing I did was contact the school superintendent, Trevor Green, and ask him, is there a need in the schools? And oh my goodness, the response was overwhelming. And at that point, he put me in touch with Adams Elementary.
We have a huge need here. Our students come from many backgrounds, but they need a place to sit and study. We saw that they were doing their homework on their beds, on the ground, on the sofa, wherever it was, and we felt it was important for them to have a place designated for them to focus on their education. I'm the first one in my family to graduate from high school and go on to college, and so it's something very important to me, and really, to be honest, a desk really helped me. It was a visual reminder at home that I needed to focus on my education.
I'm hopeful we'll continue this because we know there's a number of other schools that have kids that would be very much interested in these desks.
Our food drive is also another huge effort, Operation Harvest, which is a major activity in the fall. It's going on for quite a number of years in which we collect both food as well as money to give to the food banks.
Yakima Rotary does 19 scholarships at $2,500 a piece. I think if you look at every park in this community, it has a Rotary stamp on it. I love the sign, Welcome to Yakima. I mean, that's one big piece of granite with a rotary wheel. But it really is a beautiful and warm and welcoming thing to Yakima. Before that, there was really nothing as you drove in.
Rotary focuses on the local community first. We also have a committee that focuses on international issues. The community we chose is a small village called Bantha. It's in Sierra Leone. It's primarily an orphanage village. And we prepared meals for them with the help of 160 volunteers. about 3/4 of them Rotarians or spouses, children of Rotarians. We set up an assembly line type operation at the convention center. We just packaged these meals, kind of like ready-to-eat meals where you add water and boil it. And we ended up feeding or creating 40,000 meals. It made me feel great. I've always been a Rotarian to do stuff for other people. And this was a great vehicle for that. Rotary's motto being service above self.
So we have, of course, been a huge provider of polio vaccine, which is, as we know, the story is now we're this close to eradicating polio all around the world. And that has been an enormous effort by Rotary all over the world.
When you go back and look at 100 years of Rotary service in our community, there have been great things going back to the early days of street signs and iron lungs, and more currently to park projects and scholarships for youth. Rotary has impacted the lives of individuals and the community for many, many years, and done so often without real fanfare or recognition. Thank you. Thanks for being bold. Thanks for stepping up in a big way. And thanks for changing Yakima. And we're very excited to see what Rotary is going to do in its second century of service to Yakima.
Now a message from our platinum sponsor, Craig Gilbert of Gilbert Orchards. They've been in business in Yakima since 1897, even longer than Rotary.
I think as a farmer, I'm aware of how important it is to plant seeds for the future and plant good seeds and take care of them. And so that long-term effect, most of what we have in the Yakima Valley that we appreciate has been people through a lot of efforts of people from previous generations that have given of their time and talents to build a lot of the special places about this valley. And I felt like it was time for us to do the same thing. And it's a lot of times it takes a long time to bear fruit. It doesn't happen overnight, but I feel like a lot of the things the Rotary Club is doing helps to create a better community for our future. They're not a lot of grand things, but it's one park at a time, one ball field at a time, one scholarship at a time, one aquatic center at a time, one building desks at a time. All these different things that Rotary has been involved in doing, eradicating polio around the world, increasing our health in our valley, lots of outdoor things available, making things available with the playgrounds and bike paths and whatnot. And those kind of things are very important, I think, for the health of us as citizens and to attract people to our valley in the future. The Rotary Club, I think, as any vibrant community has vibrant citizens who are actively talking and learning about the needs of the valley. And the Rotary Club is a meeting place where a lot of that can happen, where people can share ideas about the needs of the community and make plans to and gather the funds and the volunteers to make it happen. And that's an exciting thing to be involved in. You know, I think the thing that's fun about Rotary is that there's this interaction between businesses, between farms, between government, between schools, all the different things that go into making our community what it is. There's a lot of networking that can go on to both learn of the opportunities. A lot of people just don't know what to do, and the opportunities that we have in our valley to participate and help other people and help the natural environment get better. Rotary is one place where I'm continually revitalized of the hope and all the people that care about this place and want to make it a better place. That inspires me and my family and our orchards, and I'm proud that all our employees and Gilbert Orchards can help make it happen.
Before we go any further, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors. We just heard from our platinum sponsor, Gilbert Orchards. Our gold sponsors tonight are Central Washington University and Delta Dental of Washington. Silver sponsors include Triply Construction, Terrell Lewis & Wilkie Insurance, and Baird Private Wealth Management. And thanks to our bronze sponsors as well, Yakima Valley Community Foundation, SPD&G Advertising and Public Relations, Morgan Stanley, BBM Financial Services, Heritage Moultrie Real Estate Services, and Dr. Kurt Laberton Dds.
Thank you.
The things Rotary does, like building playgrounds, buying books, and building desks for kids, running the city's biggest food drive, have been more important than ever this past year during the pandemic. So any amount you can spare helps. Call 888-778-0281 or go to yakimarotary.org.
Thanks, Bridget. Can we see a total, please? Well, we are very excited because we are fortunate to have been able to start this evening with support from our sponsors totaling $80,500. And you can add to that. Thank you to everyone who's donated so far. If you haven't donated yet, please make the call or go online now.
Thank you.
One of the most important things Rotary does is offer educational scholarships. Our vocational scholarships help students at Perry Tech, YVC, and Heritage University. These are the people who might become your dental hygienist or your nurse or install your AC. We also offer academic scholarships ranging from $2,500 to $30,000 overall towards a bachelor's degree. Kyle Curtis got a Rotary scholarship and went on to become a Rotarian himself.
My journey in Rotary really started here at Eisenhower High School some 10 years ago, where I was invited to participate in the Eisenhower Interact Club. Interact is a high school club which allows students to really become engaged with community. My senior year, I was fortunate to be one of 15 students to receive the Yakima Rotary Scholarship. This scholarship helped me, like so many other students, with paving the way for college. My journey takes me to the University of Washington, where I was able to join the UW Rotaract Club. As a Rotaract member, we participated in lots of community service. When I was involved here at Eisenhower High School in the Interact Club, we did Christmas caroling, we raked leaves, we participated in food banks. We also coordinated with the Downtown Rotary Club in annual fundraisers. Eisenhower Interact was really a great program. It really allowed all of us to build a sense of community all year long. We must have participated in 2 or 3 community service projects each quarter, and it was really a lot of fun. So Rotary is really structured all about service above self, and I think that as you graduate up through the different programs, whether it's Interact at high school, Rotaract at college, and then eventually Rotary in your professional career, it really teaches you the importance of community service and the importance of giving back. Rotary has always been a huge part of my journey. It's always, since the beginning of learning the 4 pillars, learning the spokes, really engaging with like-minded individuals that want to give back to the community. You really learn that as one individual being a part of a collective whole, you're able to make huge and drastic impacts.
Rotary has given well over $1 million to hundreds of local kids, changing lives and leaving a lasting impact on our community. And now we'd like to welcome Melanie Palm of Central Washington University, one of our gold sponsors this evening. First of all, thank you for your support. And I know education is a shared goal of Central Washington University and Rotary. Tell us a little bit more about why you decided to support tonight.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us. And Central Washington University is a gold sponsor for the last 4 years with Rotary because we believe in the values and the community service that the Rotary provides to the Yakima Valley.
Well, we appreciate your sponsorship so much. Tell me a little bit about how scholarships change the lives of kids who go to Central and other schools.
So many of our students here in the Valley are first-generation students that come to Central. And being first generation, we work very hard at keeping our tuition affordable, but there's still a gap. And those scholarships help close the gap so that students can achieve their educational goals and come back to the community and support it.
And make it a better place. Thank you so much for your support, Melanie and Central. Charlie?
So the Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center is such a fabulous addition to Yakima. And here's Bob Romero, Executive Director of the Yakima Family YMCA.
Each day when I come to work at the Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center, I'm reminded of the great work that Rotary does in our community and has done for 100 years. This was Rotary's centennial project for Yakima Downtown Rotary, and individual Rotarians, the Yakima Rotary Trust, and all three Rotary clubs helped support the construction of this great facility. In all, Rotarians donated over $3 million to this project, but the money doesn't really tell the whole story. When you go back at the time that Rotary boldly endorsed this as its centennial project, the Yakima Y was working very hard in the community to build momentum and confidence that our vision could become a reality. So when Rotary, with its reputation and history of service in the community, said, this is what we want to do for our centennial, it encouraged other donors and partners to step forward and also contribute and step up and be a part of this. So when Rotary said yes, so did others, and that was a very important part of this project for us. When you go back and look at 100 years of Rotary service in our community, there have been great things going back to the early days of street signs and iron lungs, and more currently to park projects and scholarships for youth. Rotary has impacted the lives of individuals and the community for many, many years, and done so often without real fanfare or recognition. This is a much more visible way that Rotary has reinvested in our community, and our missions align very closely in terms of service and service to youth. So when we look at this project and we see that big Rotary wheel on the side of our building, we feel very good about that partnership, and we hope that as people drive by and look at that wheel, they'll be reminded that Rotary certainly stands for service above self and community reinvestment, and that they'll also think about coming in and swimming, because that really is the point, right? But when you go back and look at it for Rotary, this is one of the more visible things they've done. That wheel will be there as a reminder to the community. And so to Rotarians and friends of Rotary, we would like to say thank you. Thanks for being bold, thanks for stepping up in a big way, and thanks for changing Yakima. And we're very excited to see what Rotary is going to do in its second century of service to Yakima.
Now we'd like to welcome Blake Baldwin, partner and managing member of Tri-Ply Construction, one of our fine sponsors tonight. Blake, why is it that you and Tri-Ply actually sponsor Yakima Rotary?
Well, myself, I just moved back after being gone for 18 years, and I've been part of the Tri-Ply team for 4 years now. Mm-hmm. I honestly did not know a lot about Rotary, and quickly began. We have multiple members in our team at Tri-Ply who are Rotary members, and I quickly began to understand what Rotary is about, and I wanted to be a part of it. So here I am.
Well, and you also have a young family, if I'm remembering correctly.
I do, yes. A lovely wife, Mary, and a beautiful daughter, 2 years old, Paisley, and they enjoy this aquatic center. She just started swim lessons, so we're pleasure to be a part of this great program here and the community.
That's right. And what a tremendous difference Tri-Ply Construction has made as a sponsor for so many projects, throughout the years. And it's a joy to have you with us. Now, I understand that you might have a challenge.
I do. It's all about community, and it doesn't matter, Tri-Ply Construction, a competitor. We want to encourage all contractors, subcontractors, general contractors to take part in building the future of Yakima for all of us to enjoy, our children, friends, family. And so pick up the phone, give a call.
That is awesome. Thank you, Blake, for making both that challenge and for taking the time to talk with us tonight. And thanks to everyone with Tri-Ply Construction for being a sponsor. Bridget, tell us how everyone and other construction companies can get involved tonight.
Well, Charlie, everyone can simply call 888-778-0281 or go to yakimarotary.org to help us make this community a better place for everyone, but especially kids. And speaking of kids, go to any park in Yakima and you're likely to see a playground or a feature built with the help of Yakima Rotary donations. Here's past Rotary President Eric Silvers with the story of the new playground at Martin Luther King Jr. Park.
For 3 generations, my family has grown up in this area, in this park, and we used to have Sunday afternoons get together. My kids went to school there. My mom went to school there. Also, I went to school over here. I learned how to swim in this pool over here. So this was just kind of like developing a legacy in my own neighborhood. Well, the playground would probably be able to fit in a nice little bedroom. It was about that big, but it was old, and working with the Yakima Parks Department and also the city to be able to see if we could be able to get another structure here. So this is what we came up with, a beautiful design, and thanks to Rotary, downtown Rotary, especially my Club, Downtown Rotary, and Southwest Rotary, Sunrise Rotary, Rotary Trust, and gosh, all of us working together to be able to build this in a day. They really wanted something that was going to be a different structure, okay? They definitely didn't want just the regular one. They also wanted to make sure that it was something for the handicapped, and so that the merry-go-round that we have there was based for handicapped kids. Dedication is going to be on June the 17th at 2 o'clock. We're going to dedicate this to the community. Even though we have let everybody in the community know, we sent out over 500 letters letting them know the gift that Rotary was giving them in this community. And so this has been really exciting to be able to watch the neighborhood even come out. We even had neighbors that come out and help us out with the construction.
It's amazing what a group of determined Rotarians can do in a day. And outdoor playgrounds are more important than ever for kids during this pandemic. Right now, I'd like to welcome one of our program sponsors, Dr. Kurt Laberton Dds. First of all, thank you for your generous donations. Now, you may know Dr. Laberton as one of Yakima's foremost dentists, but he's also a Rotarian and past Rotary president. Now, Kurt, I understand you've been spending some time recently at some Rotary playgrounds yourself.
Well, we have been. Our grandson was in town here. It's the first time we've seen him in about a year and a half. And so we sampled the buffet that is the Rotary Playground series of options, and I think he liked the one here at Chesterly best. It was just, as he said later on that day, it was the best day of my life, Grandpa. So
wow,
that's an endorsement. You don't get that.
That's quite a Rotary endorsement there.
No.
Now, in addition to doing projects here locally, we do projects overseas, and I understand some of those are some of your favorite projects that Rotary's done.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones was we've been involved in Yerevan in Ethiopia, an area southeast of Addis Ababa, in a very remote area that had no health care really at all before our involvement in a project called Project Mercy. Rod Nipper here, an architect, local architect, designed the hospital there, and I was able to help design the dental component of it. And it's just been a great thing for that area. There were tremendous needs, and it's served it with Ethiopian physicians and nurses and dentists now. So it's a great thing.
That's extraordinary with the programs we've done worldwide and here in Yakima. How has Rotary changed Yakima, the community here, over the years?
Well, I think every community relies on the individuals that live there to serve something other than themselves. But overall, for communities our size, I think, in Central Washington and in the Western United States as a whole, we have a uniquely gifted group of men and women in all our service clubs, to be honest, but certainly in Rotary we do, who have spent the greater part of their adult life finding ways to make this community better. And that footprint is all over the city, and it's a wonderful thing for it.
It is a wonderful thing. Places like the Aquatic Center here and donors like yourself. Thanks again, Kurt, for your sponsorship. We really appreciate it.
Well, we're glad to do it.
All right, so Charlie, what's that tote board looking like now?
Thanks, Bridget. Can we see the new total, please? Woo! That's awesome. Woo! Thank you. That is awesome. Please help and make the call and go online now. Rotary is excited to announce we're building another new playground along the Yakima Greenway.
What we're doing is we're replacing the old beloved McGuire playground that's been there for almost 30 years with a new playground, the Rotary Playground on the Greenway. And what that is going to do, it's going to allow a place for families and friends to gather at a modern playground, a beautiful setting, safe setting on the Yakima River.
This is such a great location on the Greenway and probably the most visited site along the 20 miles of path. The Sunrise Rotary Park that we call this area was developed back in 1993 with the forethought of Mark Ullman and Terry McGuire, who partnered to do something really spectacular for Yakima. And the dream was to build a playground and a gathering place along the Greenway that families could come and enjoy. And it was something that, frankly, Yakima did not have.
Yakima is still in desperate need of playgrounds, with 30% of the population under age 18. Outdoor play and exercise are more crucial to child development than ever, with kids cooped up inside because of the pandemic.
This, what used to be the McGuire playground, is ready to be transformed into the new Yakima Rotary playground at the Greenway.
Kids have loved and used the existing playground for 28 years, and it's showing signs of age and weather. Now you can help make the dream of a new playground a reality.
This is going to be a community effort just like it was back in 1993, 94, where literally thousands of community members and volunteers of all kinds of different backgrounds and skill sets are going to be needed to build this beautiful brand new playground.
It's an opportunity for the community to come together, for all of us to be involved, and to leave the community with this legacy for another 20 to 30 years. Back in 1994, Yakima Sunrise Rotary was the group that really was the instigator for the build of the McGuire playground on the Greenway. And we have a special affinity for that since we were the group that really got that started. Many of our members that we have today were members of the club at that time, and they talk about the volunteer activity in the community and have told me that they believe it was the largest group of volunteers in Yakima that had, before that time and even since, have come together to build a project in Yakima. So we're proud of that.
Even the pandemic couldn't stop this community from coming together last fall to help build another new playground at Martin Luther King Jr. Park. And it didn't take long for the kids to come.
Oh my goodness, they were planning on it probably the day after, but they were just so excited to be able to have this in there, and they were like, this is great, wow, we've never seen anything like this.
Rotary has brought playgrounds and more to many local parks.
Past projects have been in a lot of the parks that hopefully you and your families visit. We have Franklin Park, Chesterly, we've got the Gateway Complex, we've got MLK, and then Randall Park.
Rotary here in Yakima has done just a fantastic job between the three clubs and the Rotary Trust of building parks and playgrounds and improving our local community. The example that we have here at Randall Park is a prime example of the collaboration that the three clubs have had. We've got a basketball court, you've got a wildlife viewing station, picnic shelters, playground, and that was all done by the three Rotary clubs. And that's what we do. We get a lot of visitors here in Yakima, and the Rotary Playground on the Greenway is going to be a place for them to gather and get a positive impression of Yakima and the great community that we have. I got attracted by the great things that Rotary does. It's a group of people that are engaged, active, and they want to help the community, and it just fit for me, and I'm never looking back, and I'll be a Rotarian for the rest of my life.
It's inspiring what can be built and how quickly it can be done when a bunch of volunteers get together. Charlie is with someone very special right now who has more on volunteering.
Yes, Bridget, I'm here with Carolyn Flory, Executive Director of the Yakima Downtown Rotary Club. So Carolyn, tell us a little bit about how people get involved in this playground build.
Well, we need help with volunteers for the week of June 21st through the 27th. You don't have to be a carpenter. We're just looking for some elbow grease. So to sign up to help build the Rotary Playground at the Greenway, just go to yakimarotary.org, scroll down, and click on the Sign Up Genius link.
And while you're there, you can click on that donate button to help other Rotary projects come to life. So, Carolyn, this is our very first Rotary Telethon. Tell us what's all about that.
Well, Rotary usually holds a live auction every 2 years, and that money goes towards things like playgrounds, scholarships, reading programs, and food cash donations. But because of the pandemic, we couldn't do that in 2002. So we're here with you tonight asking for your help to fund these programs.
Bridget, how are we doing?
Time is running out, and we do need your help to build playgrounds and more for Yakima area kids. Call 888-778-0281 right now and talk to one of these volunteers at the Banner Bank Phone Bank. Online, you can go to yakimarotary.org and make your donation. Hey, Charlie, what do you got for us now?
Well, Rotary has been a huge provider of polio vaccine for decades now, and that virus is almost eradicated worldwide. Rotary also fights hunger around the globe. Rotarian Carter Field explains.
Well, every year, Rotary has separate committees for separate things. Rotary focuses on the local community first. And there's just a bunch of things that Rotary does is while we assist in communication, scholarships, cleaning up the environment, etc. But we also have a committee that focuses on international issues, ways we can help. Everybody's familiar with Polio Plus. But last year, we decided we were going to do something where we could get a large number of Rotarians involved, but still help some other entity, some other community. And the community we chose is a small village called Bantha. It's in Sierra Leone. It's primarily an orphanage village. And we prepared meals for them under the help of Children of the Nations organization. Initially, we were going to do 5,000 meals. Actually, it's called 5,000 meals. But we had a former Rotarian who was also involved in actually feed the 5,000, Dale Carpenter. And as an homage to him, we took this on. It was an ideal timing. I mean, I can't emphasize how lucky we were. It was February 29th, and I think the next week we were pretty much all closed down. But with the help of 160 volunteers, about 3/4 of them Rotarians or spouses, children of Rotarians, we set up an assembly line type operation at the convention center. 10 tables, about 8 to 10 people per table. We just packaged these meals, kind of like ready-to-eat meals where you add water and boil it. And we ended up feeding or creating 40,000 meals. It was a fun operation. It had a great effect. We involved so many people, not all Rotarians, some outside of Rotary. We want to pay special thanks to the convention center who allowed us to do this using their property for a much reduced rate. I called this morning and all they could tell me was it was distributed to Bantha, which by the way is about 200 miles from the capital of Sierra Leone, Freetown. That's an 8-hour trip by truck. So you can imagine the effort it took to get it there. Our contribution included all the transportation from here to there. So we not only fed them, we got them to the table. It made me feel great. I've always been a Rotarian to do stuff for other people. And this was a great vehicle for that. Rotary's motto being service above self. I seldom achieved that as well as I did here.
It just makes you feel good when you help other people. You know, one of my favorite Rotary projects every year is Operation Harvest. In 2020, in spite of the pandemic, Rotary collected 72,000 pounds of food and nearly $70,000 for local food banks at a time this community needed it more than ever. Here's Rotarian Sony Alexander with an overview.
Operation Harvest is my favorite project of Yakima Downtown Rotary. It is a community food drive, and you probably remember every year for the past 38 years, the banner goes up across Yakima Avenue, and by that time, we've already been busy at work. We have the cities of Yakima, Selah, Moxie, Terrace Heights, Glebe, Natchez, and Union Gap divided up into over 100 areas. And about a week before the big day, volunteers will canvass those areas, handing out paper grocery bags. This year we handed out over 10,000 bags. And then when Operation Harvest Day comes, again, volunteers will drive through those areas, picking up the donated food off of doorsteps and out of driveways, sometimes hanging on the fence, and haul those back to the collection site where they're unloaded. And at the collection site, trucks from 8 area food banks line up. We load up all that food, and it goes directly to those food banks where it's so needed. We also get cash donations, and all of those funds, once all the pledges are collected, those funds are distributed to the same area food banks. And the good thing to know is 100% of those funds go to the food bank. One of my favorite things about Operation Harvest is that it is a team effort. It takes an army of volunteers to pull this off. And we as in the Yakima Downtown Rotarians, we're also joined by the Southwest Rotarians, the Sunrise Rotarians, and we have community help from groups like the Boy Scouts, high school interact clubs, local churches, and the Yakima Junior League. So it's really great. It really is a community event. This year, we collected 72,000 pounds of food and $69,700. Amazing. And that's all thanks to you, the community, the most important partner of all. This is the Yakima Rotary Food Bank. We didn't start it, but we did jump in and help them remodel this building and put the little overhang so people wouldn't be standing out in the cold in the winter, and enlarge their ability to keep food so they accept more donations. And it's just a great little food bank. It is one of the 8 that we sponsor. People have asked me, now does all this go to the Yakima Rotary Food Bank because of the name? But the food is distributed through 8 local food banks, and we do look at that every year, see if there's a food bank we're missing that we could be sharing with. So this is a very busy spot. So watch for us this year on a Saturday in early October, and we'll be back out in your area collecting those donations. So don't forget to put it on the porch.
That's right, Sony. When you get that brown paper bag, fill it up with food next October and put it on the porch. And if this valley has been good to you, support your community and give back. Call 888-778-0281, where volunteers are standing by at the Banner Bank phone bank, or go to yakimarotary.org to make your contribution to the future of Yakima.
This year has been especially tough on kids, trying to get an education, amidst and against all odds. But thanks to Rotary, 200 local school kids have brand new desks at home.
Well, the project was actually born out of my relationship with my sister and brother-in-law. They belong to the Rotary Club of Canby, Oregon, and they had done a similar project like this last fall for the at-home students in some neighborhoods of need. And I thought to myself, this is a project we should do here in Yakima. So the first thing I did was contact the school superintendent, Trevor Green, and ask him, is there a need in the schools? And oh my goodness, the response was overwhelming. And at that point, he put me in touch with Adams Elementary as an ideal school, because they've worked on similar projects to bring this project forward. So we got the plans from Canby, and we made a number of enhancements and improvements, and from there, the project started to pick up speed within our club with all the dedication and support our members have helping students and helping children with their education, and we felt it was an important project for our community. And when we're finished, there will be 200 desks completed, and as far as volunteers, we've had volunteers helping out, everything from helping to put together some notes of encouragements in a book we're going to give each child when they receive the desk, all the way down to the construction crew. I would say during the assembly, we're working with anywhere between 10 to 20 people over a 2-day period, multiple times, to complete the 200 desks we're going to do. And these desks are very well built. with solid materials. The construction was exceptional, and they will probably serve not only one children, but in some households 2 or 3 during their education period. So there's a great need for these, and I think they're going to see these desks really serve a great purpose.
Although a desk is something very simple, it's very important. It is a great place for people to study, a place for them to focus on their education. When I was a kid, I got a desk as well. I was about 3rd grade, and when I got it from my mom. And one of the things that was really important for her was our education. And she said, when you're here studying at this desk, I know that you're here working hard, focusing on education, and it's important for us to know that. The desk that I had when I was a kid, I used it middle school, high school. I went off to college. My brother used it. My sister used it. My other brother used it. And now my youngest brother uses it some. But, I mean, he still uses it. And so it's, you know, something very simple. It was a donation from my mom to us. And it's been such a great thing to have. We don't have very many things that are valuable. And that is one of those things that we look at and see, like, that desk helped us get to where we're at. And so I went through and I used that desk, and it helped me set up a place for me to study and get through high school, go on to college. I'm the first one in my family to graduate from high school and go on to college, and so it's something very important to me. And really, to be honest, a desk really helped me. It was a visual reminder at home that I needed to focus on my education. And I think it's something very important. We have a huge need here. Our students come from many backgrounds, but they need a place to sit and study. We noticed that before, but now even more so, seeing the kids through the Google Meets, we saw that they were doing their homework on their beds, on the ground, on the sofa, wherever it was, and we felt it was important for them to have a place designated for them to focus on their education. And this project helps us do that. Again, it's a reminder that us as educators, we want the best for them. We want them to focus on education. We want them to have a good, successful life, whatever it is that they do. And it is important for us to figure out how to say that. And we say that, our teachers say that every day in their lessons, on their greetings in the morning, and on their salutations on the way out or whatever. They do that all the time. I would say this is just a good visual, physical reminder at their homes that education is important. Our community, as you guys know, is they work really hard. Our community works really hard. And oftentimes, in the mix between the multiple jobs, it's hard to sit down and rest and relax and encourage them. And I think it's important for us to do that. And this desk will be, again, a reminder of that in their homes. And we're excited to be able to offer that to them. We're getting a lot of good feedback from families, and students are excited to get them as well.
I envision this project growing, and it has great potential for our club as well as other clubs within the region and even our district. There's such a need for children to have a dedicated, solid place for them to do their homework at home, and especially if there's going to be continued distance learning, having a place where they can just dedicate their time to their studies as well as creativity, I think will only help enhance their educational experience. So I'm hopeful we will continue this because we know there's a number of other schools that have kids that would be very much interested in these desks.
We're live at the Banner Bank phone bank, and I've got a pretty amazing announcement. We just got a spectacular donation. Abe and Marianne Gonzalez donated $10,000. Thank you, Abe and Marianne. That's an amazing amount, and we appreciate it, and this community will use it to build more facilities similar to this beautiful aquatic center. Our volunteers are standing by to take your call, and speaking of the aquatic center, Charlie, what's going on over there?
Well, Bridget, this pandemic hit just 4 months after this beautiful brand new Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center opened in November of 2019. So not a whole lot of people had a chance to check it out. Now, with things easing up and people once again able to come inside, we'd like to give you a great little tour with the help of Executive Director Bob Romero.
The Yakima YMCA and Rotary Aquatic Center is a project that really began in 2013 and is a true community collaboration. Not only is it the YMCA, the city of Yakima collaborated, as well as Yakima Rotary, and all these entities came together to produce a first-rate facility. Something that really started with studies and analysis of what this community wanted, what people wanted to see, what they wanted to use, and then after that, doing benchmarking trips around a variety of different YMCAs and aquatic centers throughout the Northwest. And that collaboration and that work together in partnership produced a facility that has obviously a great 8-lane lap pool, something that we can use predominantly for recreational swimming and for people to work out. But in addition to that, we can run swim meets here. But the focus is not really competitive swimming, it's community use. Because in Yakima, we hadn't built a new indoor pool since the 1970s with Lions Pool. In addition to the lap pool, we put in a therapy warm water pool. This has been a very popular body of water for people that are doing fitness classes. One of the great recreational elements of this that people notice when they come from outside the building are the slides that we have. And a lot of locations that we looked at, the slides drained into a pool. We really didn't want to have that happening and people running into each other. So this was a way that we could provide that recreational element of slides and also keep people safe when they landed and got out for the next people to go and get in line and keep going. Additional recreational elements include the lazy river, and the lazy river is something very popular for people doing water walking currently. The recreational uses, because of COVID, have not been allowed to come back just yet, where people enjoy going around their lazy river in inner tubes, but at least the water walking is something that we have been able to resume. Next to that, the children's play structure is something that a lot of the kids with small slides and shallow water and different play features has been something that the youth of our community have really enjoyed. And again, the emphasis on everybody in the community being able to have access, whether they're a Y member or community member, day passes, and that ability to come in and just enjoy the recreational elements of this facility has been something that a lot of people have taken advantage of. Certainly, one of the things that people notice architecturally has been the curved glass on here that really is kind of a defining identity with this facility that makes it look great from the outside and also gives it great views from the inside, that it makes you feel like even though you're inside, you kind of have an outside feel to using the water and the recreational elements here. Again, for our younger users, the bigger slides are something that are a little too much for them, and it's dark inside that slide tube. So we added small slides here so they'd be able to enjoy that as well, and something that's been very popular with our young swimmers. One of the elements that we put in this facility are family locker room spaces. We have a lot of users, whether they be seniors helping a companion, parents, grandparents with children of opposite gender. It allows them where a traditional locker room doesn't fit so well. We put in 10 of these family locker rooms, and that's been a great feature of this facility and has worked very, very well for our users. You'll notice this facility was constructed with block and a lot of very durable materials with the intent of limiting maintenance costs and, of course, keeping this facility around for a long, long time. But in addition to aquatics, we are a full-service YMCA here, and so we have everything that you would look for in a Y, and that would start, of course, with a gymnasium. Since basketball was invented in a YMCA, it would only make sense that we have a gym. And so whether it be basketball, pickleball, or senior fitness classes, a lot of different activities utilize this space, and it's a very popular space in the building. Now let's go upstairs to the second floor and look at the fitness floor. Second floor fitness space was designed to be a very open space, allow for users to have a lot of different room to do a variety of activities, whether it be cardio equipment or free weights or machine weights. In addition, we have a fitness studio, and one of the popular features here is a lot of people like to come and use our track, especially when the weather is cold. The track accommodates both walking and running, and it goes around the gym, around a space that normally is kind of dead space in the building, but here we take advantage of that space and then wrap it through the fitness area to get a little longer run or walk for those people moving on the track through the building. So this has been a popular feature of this facility and a little bit longer than what we would have in a normal YMCA by virtue of using the space around the gym. We offer plenty of cardio equipment, and the ellipticals and treadmill equipment is made by Precor. Our free weight area includes a lot of different equipment and a lot of different options for our users, even a Queenax system, which is a big rack that gives you all kinds of things from ropes to punching bags. We offer a variety of classes with our own instructors and our own equipment. In addition to that, we have virtual classes that people can come and participate. Our facility includes more than we've shown you, a child watch, a kitchen, a couple of other things, but this youth room and community room is part of our facility and really focuses on the mission of the Y. And so we're very grateful, we're very proud of this facility, and we especially like the fact we've had tremendous partnerships and collaborations from the City of Yakima, from Yakima Rotary, and from over 500 private donors and businesses and individuals who invested in this project to make it possible for this community.
Well, this hour has flown by, and it's time for a final look at our tote board tonight, and we'll see what you all have done for this community. Let's see what we've got. $250,156. That is amazing. Yakima, thank you so much. This community has always been one of the most generous and philanthropic communities I have ever known. We watch each other's back. Thank you so much, Yakima.
Yeah, and it's not done. You still have the opportunity to give, but we want to take a moment to actually acknowledge our sponsors. Most specifically, first of all, our platinum sponsor, Gilbert Orchards. We also have our gold sponsors who come with Central Washington University and Delta Dental of Washington. Our silver sponsors, Tri-Ply Construction, Terrell Lewis and Wilkie Insurance, Baird Wealth Management, and then our bronze sponsors, Yakima Valley Community Foundation, Morgan Stanley, Heritage Moultrie Real Estate, SPD&G Advertising and Public Relations, BBM Financial Services, and Dr. Kurt Laberton Dds. So excited. Thank you so much for all of that.
Thank you very much. And we really appreciate the Yakima Rotary Aquatic Center for allowing us to use this beautiful space to hold this telethon. And we want to remind everybody now that COVID restrictions are easing just a little bit, this is a great time to come down here and check it out. We've been standing by that lazy river all night. There's 3 pools. Bob Romero told you a lot about all of the activities. There's workout rooms, gathering rooms, so many things to do down here. So come on down to the Aquatic Center and check it out. And now I'd like to reintroduce Jennifer Bleasner, Yakima Downtown Rotary President, with a little bit more about Downtown Rotary.
You know, Yakima Rotary, for being a town the size of Yakima, is the 31st largest club in the world.
That's amazing.
Not very many people know that.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the fact that Rotary started in Chicago, that club is a city that size. It makes sense that they're a large club, but boy, when it comes down to the fact that Yakima is able to have that kind of amazing impact in the community, it's really. But we also want you to join us. We have a tremendous group of business professionals, many of which started in Rotary for the Opportunity Network. And then, of course, as we all know, we learn so much more about what this community can do and what we can all do when we gather together. About a year or so ago, when this sad pandemic was starting, you know, we were intending to do a live auction, and 700 people typically will attend that. But we had to pivot, as to use a tired phrase, and do something differently. But our membership just rallied around, and we're able to put on this amazing production. And look at all of you in the community and what you're doing to help us continue our impact and our footprint here in the Valley.
And I'm so excited because we've had so many different people lending all their different skills, and it takes a village. It is everyone who's working at the phone decks, and everyone who worked in advance. So whatever way you want to get involved, we're excited to include you in everything that we're doing. I look at all the projects that we have been doing in this community, and I'm a bit exhausted, I have to admit. But then I look at all that there is still to do, and I'm super excited and inspired for what that means for what's possible for us in this community with your help. This is not over. You can still always go to yakimarotary.org and again, make that donation. Thanks to our sponsors, to the Aquatic Center for hosting us tonight in this absolutely beautiful building, and to all of you for helping out tonight. Thank you so much, Bridget, for being such a great partner. What a great leadership here. It's been extraordinary. And I also want to thank all the people with Captivity, because they have done an amazing job of making us feel so comfortable and making this such an enjoyable event for us as well. So to all the kids and all the noise that you're hearing in the background, we're having a great time here at Aquatic Center. We will continue to do that, but go online. Go to yakimarotary.org. Make certain that you click on that button, you make a donation. For the next 2 weeks, we're still accepting those donations, and happy to have you participating in that as well.
And a copy of this will be posted on our website, yakimarotary.org. So if you have friends that maybe missed out tonight on the live broadcast, be sure to let them know. This has been a really wonderful opportunity for us to share our past, present, and future with you.
Thank you so much for joining us and learning more about Yakima Rotary and all of the things it's done for this community over the years. Thanks again. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.